So, the other day I was sitting in front of my monitor browsing through the recommended section in YouTube. Yes, I do use it. Looking through an endless list of videos I have already seen 10 times by now. However, a certain video has piqued my curiosity, something that is unlike the 1-hour FNAF video essays I usually watch. That video was Windows History with Never Released Versions Collection. Windows Never Released OSs have a re-upload dad. And with a title like that, I wondered why YouTube would recommend me this in the first place. Why would a video be called Never Released if Windows 98 Plus is real? I guess that this video will feature made up and real Windows versions.
Foreshadowing is a narrative device.
The low-quality thumbnail and the monstrous 3-hour and 15-minute time length led me to believe that this was some sort of YouTube recommendation glitch. You know, like you gang recommended those videos of a frog sitting on a pipe with the text "Trubayob Vitalia" written in lobster font having 3 million views or something. Such videos are usually humorous and pretty short, so this video being so long yet still being recommended didn't make sense to me. Couple that with the 800,000 view count, I knew that this was something that would require a closer look, and what followed made me extremely confused.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
So, what the hell is this video about? You're building it up like it's goddamn Skea 3301 over here. Spill the beans already. Well, the video itself was nothing too sinister. It was just remixed log-on and log-out sounds with images of made-up Windows versions and names. This video isn't like your usual Windows mock-up videos that do feature quality animations and realistic designs of concepts that Microsoft could actually integrate in their future release. No, this was practically a slideshow.
Ello gusto da have a list of top 5 ventana never released versions number 5.
And so, this just goes on for 3 hours. Yeah. Mr. the WNR/NROS archive bin probably did not create all the images and sounds himself, but this absolute unit of a video had to have been compiled by someone before him. This also means that this someone had to have an interest in the first place to compile all this. I decided to look further, and judging by the view count, I guess that this quote-unquote community was substantial. I searched up Windows Never Released on YouTube, and the results were even more shocking. Okay, little Indonesian boy, you can cue the dramatic music now. 40 minutes. 3 hours and 42 minutes. 5 hours. 9 hours and 50 minutes, almost 12 hours of fake Windows versions, with each of them starting from before the dawn of civilization itself and ending millennia ahead of our own time. Who watches this content?
Why? Why?
Like, do people put these videos on, go to sleep, wake up, and are like, I just beat my own milestone of reaching 2324 AD.
Wow.
I can sort of understand a 4-minute video with these fake versions having almost 1 million views, as it is pretty short.
That's a lot of views.
But I don't get how people can consume even an hour of this stuff. Is this some Windows code that I didn't know existed? I certainly didn't know that people were making Windows AUs like an Undertale.
Number 7. Student watches porn and gets naked.
I can sort of see myself as a bit of a Windows connoisseur. I watch Triggersalt. I just genuinely don't get the appeal of this endless round delay around images with sounds that might as well have been repurposed into PowerPoint presentations. But hey, those could just be one-off videos. It can't be that these channels are dedicated to making this stuff. Oh yes, they are, my little PogChamp, yes they are. In fact, here they are from left to right. Windows Never Released Complex, the previously mentioned WNR/NROS archive bin, Spy on Clear, Mindaria OSM, Windows Expert, and Arseny Ivanov. Along with a couple other small no-name channels, they are, or were in some cases, the main conductors of the WNR movement. Wait, that's a pretty weird analogy. Who put this into the script? If you were to go on any of their channels and skip around in their WNR videos, common versions seem to emerge, such as the persistence of Venura OSs in the beginning, which leads me to believe that these videos actually have lore. Yes, my friends, this thing is literally FNAF. People like Arseny Ivanov are still releasing these strange bootleg Windows videos with poor quality Photoshop. He even made Princess Mindy from SpongeBob OSs? Speaking of these Mindy OSs, this guy released several parts to them. This leads me to the existence of remasters and parts within this fake Windows fan club. You see, people that post or create these videos like to make amendments and ameliorations to their creations. Like OS updates, they never stop until the video reaches its metaphorical end of life and receives its last update. But this was just the tip of the iceberg. Now, let's delve deeper into this fandom's presence elsewhere on the internet. After a whole 7 seconds of googling, I stumbled upon the Windows Never Released wiki. They describe WNR as series made by people on YouTube showing their ideas for Microsoft Windows. Never released versions of Windows usually have remixed startup and shutdown sounds. Sometimes they have existing startup/shutdown sounds from other OSs. WNR also shows boot screens from specified OSs. They can be made in any of computer graphics programs like Photoshop, GIMP, or Paint. According to the wiki, Windows Never Released began all the way back 15 years ago in 2008 by a certain someone named JHJ22. JHJ22 is surprisingly still active on YouTube, but now he seems to have transitioned to music videos or something. Then there's the Never Released OS fandom, which was created in 2017 by Luigi2012 SM64. Luigi seems to have rebranded himself to Luigi the Dino on YouTube and is inactive since 2021. Finally, we have the Windows Small Ops fandom that was created in the same year by Twigless1888. WM is similar to WNR, but features more things about made-up OSs like logon screens and desktops, unlike WNR that, at least on YouTube, features a single image of the boot screen. Twigless1888 is, unfortunately, no longer around on YouTube. The wiki makes it seem like WM and WNR are rivals, and to be honest, it is a little pathetic to see drama over static images. The wiki mentions many more creators I have not mentioned thus far, and to be honest, I'm not going to give you descriptions of each of them since there's really nothing special to talk about and it would take too much time. Now, the wiki is actually slightly more interesting than their bare bones YouTube brethren. On the main page, there are featured pages. Yes, I know it says featured images, but they link to pages dedicated to fake Windows versions such as Windows 12, 13, and 14, along with descriptions for each of them. Descriptions usually feature the features that the versions have, as well as their development history. As a fan of alternate history, I actually can find some enjoyment from reading about these fake Windows versions. It's like people are making alternate history through the seemingly mundane vessel of Microsoft, or Windows. Take the Windows 12 description, which includes a note about different themes to choose, including Classic, Metro, NDL2, Aero, and Fluence from Windows 11. Along with the realization that Microsoft will not add these features once Windows 12 actually drops. But let's not get bogged down in nostalgia. Let's take a look at some other content that the people of this fandom have created. Meet Venura minus infinity, or negative infinity, aka the first OS. Venura was the first operating system in existence. It was released before the Big Bang on Infinity BC. If you're not impressed by this feat of ingenuity, the page continues. It has more than 1,000 flaws in the computer itself, which is a very usual thing that happens for the first computer system ever. There is a 98% chance that the unstable system running this system crashes after a couple of milliseconds after it boots up. Ignoring the use of system twice in the same sentence, reading the entire page itself gave me a good chuckle for how comically bad this OS is. Now, there are, quite literally, hundreds of pages, both high quality and low quality, and
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
most of them are low quality, and so I'll just let you experience some of the ones I found interesting or peculiar in one way or another, in no particular order. Windows Victory is a Windows version created by Oceania. Yes, the one from that one book, yes, you know the one, which began development in 1967 as a way for the Oceanian ministries to carry out their duties more effectively. The Windows Victory Peace Edition is used by the Ministry of Peace to calculate the outcomes of battles and create battle plans designed to perpetuate inconclusive battle outcomes. The Windows Victory Truth Edition is used to revise history. The Windows Victory Love Edition is, as far as I understand from the description, used to hypnotize dissidents. Oh, and it also comes with a DOS-era GUI. Vanilla Google Plexium BTE. It has BTE Big Tits energy. Is a third OS in existence, and in it, the boot screen is very dark and you can only see it if you have strong eyes. Opening the computer takes 10 to 30 minutes. Windows 200.00 was created in 2195 as the last Windows version, after the inability of Microsoft to adapt to new hologram systems across the solar system and beyond. It was codenamed Armageddon, and it was meant to be a farewell edition before the development of its successor, Magnesium, would begin. It had no new features, but it included all the features that were planned for the Windows Holo System lineup. Oh, and also the company Kawaii Soft created Windows 200.1 Kawaii Edition. Apparently, humanity that has mastered hologram technology still hasn't managed to rid itself of the plague that is anime. Windao Goose 1000 was released in the year of our Lord 999 AD and was ordered by Louis I of France. How could Louis I have lived in 999 AD despite dying in 840? Don't ask me. It had a white interface, used Latin as its language, and was only accessible to nobles. It received several updates until it was discontinued in 1101 AD. Great background, by the way. As you can see, the authors of this fandom are very diverse, bringing their own creative visions to these made-up operating systems, pouring countless hours, and potentially brain cells, into brainstorming and executing their ideas. Now, I couldn't end this video without trying to find whether this group has a subreddit, and, as a matter of fact, they do! r/Windows now released has a whopping 141 members and has been dead since 2019. But its successor r/OS Mockups has a whopping 2 more members, and is, unlike r/WNR, actually sort of active. I also wanted to speak to these people on their Discord, which was featured on the wiki, but after asking why people like WNR so much, and how WNR videos could get hundreds upon thousands of views if the Reddit and the Discord having collectively less than 220 members, I was promptly ignored. So, how did the YouTube videos gain so many views? I honestly have no idea. Maybe bots? Maybe the 220 people rewatched those videos hundreds upon hundreds of times? We may never know. So what's the point of this video? No clue. I guess you just spent a couple of minutes of your ever-shortening life on a subject you would never care to learn otherwise if it wasn't for the ominous thumbnail I created. So yeah, I know, your mom